I've got to talk about the Ryder Cup.
Uh-huh.
Valhalla, looking back, what's your abiding feeling now about 2008?
Well, the tough thing is my abiding feeling. You know, as a captain, you can't win, in a way, and you can't do. You know, if a player's got a downhill left to right putt on the 14th green and he's one down, he's got to hold that to stay one down. If he makes it, you're a great captain, and if he misses it, you're a lousy captain.
Yes.
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. So you know, at the end of the day, a couple of guys, my big three guys, you know, Lee Westwood, Padraig, Harrington, and Garcia, gave me 1.5 points, half a point each. And they're your bankers. I needed them to give me a couple each.
Yeah.
That would have been the totally big difference. That was so, you know, that happened. I'm sure America did their thing. They were at home. They had the advantage. You know, it's a different atmosphere.
It is.
Our gallery was seriously outnumbered, probably 40,000 to 1,000,
Yeah.
or something like that. And that has an effect on you and all those sort of things. But you know, most of the guys gave 100%.
Yeah.
I have to say, give a dig at a couple.
Any difficult characters you may?
No, not really. No, but it's a tough thing. You have to get to know guys fast.
Yeah.
Fast track learning them and trying to do the right thing for them. But as I would say, if you're not motivated about playing the Ryder Cup and going out there and going to win, well, then you shouldn't be there. And that was a tough bit for me. You know, you had the odd guy who couldn't get up for the week,
Yeah.
which is tough.
How important are the picks, do you think, the captain's picks? And how and picking the right person, I suppose, you know, because there's often far more guys that are out there that you could choose from, but you've only got...
You're always going to have that. You're always in a strong position. My 2 picks got 5 points, and I'm still being criticised for it.
Surely not.
The rest of the team got, what did we get to, 10.5?
Yeah.
The rest of the team won 6.5 points or whatever it might. I can't do my maths now, it's gone. But I know my 2 picks got 5 points, so work that one out, you know.
Okay, so you did touch on a valid point. You know, as a captain, there's only so much you can do. When the guys go out on the golf course, it is down to them. But I suppose the question a lot of people want to know is, would you like another shot of it?
Yeah, I would have loved to have another go. I mean, that's probably the hardest thing about that, is that it's people want to be so harsh about, hey, you did a lousy job, and you never have you again. You know, and it's wow. So you have to deal with, well, so how do I take what I learned from the Ryder Cup, and obviously I can't use it for another Ryder Cup. How do I use that in the rest of my life?
Yeah.
What have I learned from that? So that was probably a tough one, because you know there's no classes on how to become a captain and this sort of thing. You're thrown in the deep end, and you think you have your ideas, and if they don't work, well, then you get slated for them. So but the bottom line is, it's, you know, as we know, the players, they're the ones who put the scores on the board. I mean, that's really it.
They really are. And as a player yourself, you had a fantastic record. So just talking about captains, we've obviously got Ollie Olazabal coming up next year. I want to touch on him in a minute. What for Sandy Lyle, who's never got the opportunity, and I think probably believes he should have? What's your take on that?
Well, it's always tough. Somebody in an era is up against different people. You know, Sandy's a very quiet guy. That will be considered by the selection committee, that you know, you've got to have somebody who's quite prepared to scream and shout and be strong in your views or whatever. Same with American side. They've had a few guys that have missed out. Yeah, I mean, I assume he really wanted to. I don't know how hard he ever campaigned for it.
Yeah.
So it's, but if he wanted to be a captain, well, then obviously he's disappointed.
Yeah. So talking of the next guy we've got coming up, as we said, Ollie, what qualities do you think he will bring? He's obviously got a lot of experience playing. He's got the whole Seve thing. How do you think he'll fare as a captain?
He has the passion. We all have the passion. We've all loved the Ryder Cup. You know, Ollie can do... I would say, you know, as we say, it's the 12 guys on the golf course, or the 8. That's the other ridiculous thing about it. There's a 12-man team, and you have to put 8 out. So you're always criticised for the 4 you left out. It's like, oh, come on, that's happening here. That's the rules. Oh gosh, so it's tough. I just hope he's got a team that's there and they're playing great. That's all the captain wants. He wants to know that he's got at least 10 out of those 12 guys who are just absolutely on their games, and then it doesn't matter who you put out.
Last thing on the topic, you mentioned it, the criticism. Did you find that tough in 2008? And did you feel maybe you received slightly harsher treatment from the British press than you should have?
Well, I can't do anything about it. I mean, I think I genuinely think that they were on a mission for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. I guess I'll never know why. But I was there for the team. I really was there for the team, and I loved being in that team room, and we all got on great. And then you hear things. The thing I hate is when people make an assumption and they were never there.
Yeah.
That's the bit that what the team atmosphere was like, and they said, well, I think this or that. Well, if you weren't there, you weren't there, mate. And that group of guys, we got on great. We had a moment where we sat down when we went off to one of the gala dinner. It was hilarious. We found an old. We were almost like in the makeup room, because it was all we were in the team room, so we all sat around the chairs and laughing at it. And actually, we had a debrief at the end, which we'd never done before.
Really? And
the guys sat there and they said, "Well, we've never done this." We sat and chatted, and each person talked about their experience for the week. So as far as I see it, everybody had a pretty good time.
Yeah.
We didn't win because they beat us or whatever happened, but the most important thing is if each player knows he gave 100%, that's all you can do.